Hello, everybody. That's right, it's your traditional, boring, middle-aged English person who drinks far too much tea, back on the camera again one more time with my delightful cup of tea. Now, this is a video response to Stephen Parker, who is an incredibly undersubscribed individual who's got some great ideas, great views, great values. He's a very good, entertaining presenter. Link down there, down below to the video. The video he's done is called Astral Projection Experiment and Tarot, and it's quite a good video in which he's challenging people who say that this, that, and the other is a hard and fast experience to prove it. Okay, to prove it through explaining their experiences, which makes them think that astral projection works. To explain why they think that this, that, and the other works, and so on and so forth. And of course, from my point of view, I like what you're doing there, Stephen, because I think what you're doing there is you're challenging the use of language. Okay, I think you're challenging the use of language when someone turns around and says this, that, and the other works. And some people would jump upon the word, it works. Okay, it's like it's like one of the worst phrases in the world when it comes to anything which could be like really, really useful to humanity in the future, like all of this like psychic weird stuff. Okay, because it makes people think really, really, really stupid things. Okay, it's like setting up a straw man argument as well. Stephen. Okay, because there's an individual who says that they've had a certain experience. They think that experience proves a certain mythological reality. And so they would say it works as a kind of like a knight's move of thinking, a schizophrenic knight's move of thinking from here's an experience, therefore there are fairies, okay, or here's an experience, therefore there is life after death, or here's an experience, therefore, there is an actual astral body. But my point of view as well, if you've been watching my channel for long enough, not only yourself, Stephen, but also anybody else out there, is that I take a completely different argumentation on the subject because, I've got a brain in my head, okay, and that's the main reason. I mean, lots of people walk around, don't have a brain in their head, just like at the age of 2, someone like, well, you won't be needing that anymore, just like stitch you up and back off into reality you go. I mean, there's people in the world who are like that. It works. And also the media, as far as like all of this like weird supernatural stuff is concerned, is geared towards the undereducated. It's geared towards people who want to be in a fantasy world. It's geared not towards people who want to think about strange experiences and try and analyze them enough. So essentially you got like all the popular media and Harry Potter and all that bollocks, so just like making people go into a fantasy world, okay, rather than actually thinking, hang on a second, did this, that, and the other happen? And because they've had an experience, the people that they've had these strange experiences that I've talked about on this channel incessantly for the past 5 years or whatever, they then think, yes, Harry Potter's therefore real, yes. And there really are people who go around the world who say, oh yes, it works, yes, or just think that Harry Potter is real. And there are some people in the world, even including religious people, who are very scary, who go around saying that, yeah, I mean, the stuff in Harry Potter's not made up. They are actual magic spells, and they're taking the power from the devil, and they're mental. Totally fucking mental. But that is going to be a vehement, violent, aggressive rant for another video when I'm just going to let it all hang out in the most heinous way possible, or something along those lines. I don't know. Anyway, back to Stephen Parker's video before I started going off on my own little irrational, unintelligent, and slightly mad rants. So Stephen is trying to challenge people to, demonstrate stuff. But I want people to look at Stephen's video and think to themselves, what is he really saying? Is he approaching this as someone who is skeptical about the experiences, or is he coming across people who, or trying to challenge people into being skeptical about the interpretation of the experiences? Because I believe it's the latter, and I'm going to stick there more or less for the moment, alright? But think about why these stupid ways of thinking come about, okay? I mean, it's like the Bible, okay? Great fun book, the Bible, okay? But it's a book, it's culturally central, that's why it's called holy, because it's culturally central to a group of people, but some of it is mythological. There's a number of strawman arguments going through Christian thought which say, no, it's a literal word of God. Alright? Even though the people who said, or the person who said it was a literal word of God, was possibly also speaking allegorically, because they were trying to tackle the problem from another point of view, but the people were too thick to understand that, and so thick thinking, stupid thinking carried on being broadcast by so many people, to the point whereby you've got this modern day literalist, fundamentalist, psychobabbly, bollocksy, mad crap going on. Yeah, you don't need to have that in religion. You certainly don't need to have that in paranormalism or psychic stuff type weird shit. You certainly don't need to have that in paganism or witchcraft and all the rest of that. But, there's people out there who think mad stuff. And it's scary. Really is scary. And of course, there's people like me who drink far too much tea and get far too hyperactive, take far too much nicotine in the form of the electronic cigarette, and then go mad in my own little way. Hyperactive, talking, can't stop. Get on a train of thought and carry on until the end of time.